Alright, so here's your boy, the Imperfect Myth. I'm here with Ty, and Ty has came down. How you doing, Ty?
Good.
He has came down here to actually interview me, to ask all of the questions that people have asked me, over the past year or so. And so the thing is, what is my connection to Ty? Ty is actually my grandson. So I'm very honored, to be a part of his genes and so forth, and having me part of my genes. So I'm honored, man. I'm honored right now to be sitting next to this young man. So, he's already warned me that he might break out the laughing. So that's kind of, one of the things you see me doing on the Nobody Show. I start laughing, can't stop. Now you see where I get it from, right? So anyway, he's gonna interview me and he's gonna ask some questions and everything. He's gonna try to be as loud as he can with each question. And so, all right, let's get it started. And you're running the show.
All right. Where did the concept of the imperfect myth come from?
Okay, repeat that right quick and repeat it a little louder so I can make sure I hear it and get it right.
Where did the concept of the imperfect myth come from?
Okay, where did the concept of the imperfect myth come from? Actually, it was previously the myth, and used to do music, used to do quotes, started off as quotes and music, and just kind of different things like that. And I was wanting to convey, that kind of older, meaning over 40, can make their own mark and do things. And I want to be a representative of the old school, and that was really important to me. I didn't anticipate, that the myth would take off the way it did. I really didn't, Am I super famous? No, it's not. It never was a goal. It's called, I love the concept of being a nobody. It means a lot to me, But I didn't anticipate that things would go as big as they did. Now, how did the name change to the imperfect myth? That was the real thing right there. That changed here in the last year, which meant we had to go back and change the imperfect myth on all of our social media, all of everything, YouTube, even the Nobody Show. Had to go back and change the name. And why did I do that? Because, I like that, thinking about the imperfect myth. I had been through some things, and so it made me realize, and I had already been going for this perfect. There's something in me I didn't realize it. But in the process of inventing myself, I realized I had been striving for perfection a lot, not knowing. And then once I realized that, I realized just, imperfect myth more best describes me. You know what I mean? And so that's where the concept came from of the imperfect myth. It's about being a representation of old school and knowing that we can do anything. You know what I mean? Unlimited resources, can do anything. So it's no longer just about music, obviously not about quotes. It's about unlimited. And I'm hoping that through the course of time, that would be really recognized, throughout the course of time. So that's where that concept came from.
What drives you or motivates you?
What drives me and what motivates me? That is a loaded question, man. It really is. It's a good question, though. It's a great question. I've always been really, really anxious. I mean, ambitious. That's the wrong. And you can say anxiously ambitious. I've always been that. I always, even before you were born, I was always very ambitious, man. And I would open up businesses, as a kid. I would write books, I had a lot of things going on at all times. Even ran for mayor, at a young age, I wanted to be the youngest mayor. My mind was made up, man. And I just always been very, very ambitious, man. So I learned that as time went on, the years went on, it wasn't going away. It was getting more increasing. And as time went on, it just increased, and it's still in me today. And it's something I realize it's never going to go away. It's who I am. You know what I mean? So I'm just naturally hyped. I'm naturally ambitious. I'm just naturally motivated. And, one thing motivates me quicker than anything is an obstacle. You know what I mean? And so that's what motivates me.
So you talk about obstacles. How have you found ways to get past them?
Man, and that's another good question right there. Obstacles, man. You know, we as human beings, we run into obstacles. And a lot of times it can have a negative effect. And has it ever had a negative effect on me? Sure, sure. But one thing about it, you talking about motivation. I get, I'm really laser focused now. I'm way motivated now. Obstacle just motivates me to a point that, you know, can't nothing stop me now. Can't nothing stop me now. Now I have to do it. I have to accomplish my goals. I have to double and triple, whatever I'm out to do in life. I have to, it's just mandatory now. I don't like obstacles, and I feel like, to me, sometimes I feel like obstacles are unfair. As us as human beings, is it always supposed to be smooth? No, no. But I don't like obstacles, man. And because of that, that's the one thing I do take personal. I have a rule that never take anything personal. But obstacles, I take very personal. I don't know why, but I do. Because anything that's going to hinder my ability to be ambitious, I take that personal. So, that's how I get past it. I just get more motivated. So those two questions kind of actually went together, man. You got a nice little list here. I like your questions, man. You're on point. You're on point.
All right. What is the Nobody Show?
What is the Nobody Show? Nobody Show is it's a podcast show. It's called the Nobody Show, hosted by the Imperfect Myth. Again, it used to be the Myth, and then turned to hosted by the Imperfect Myth. It's on Anchor.fm. It's also on Spotify. And it's weird because the Nobody Show was about representing the average everyday person. The average everyday people. The waste disposal collectors, the waiters. The truck drivers, on and on and on. All those professions that make this world go round. You know what I mean? And so all those thousands and millions of people out there every day trying, and that's what the whole concept was about. It's not my show, I used to say. I'm just the host. You know what I mean? And so that was the whole what it was really started, and that's what it was about. And so that, I hope that answers that question.
All right. Why do you think many people are listening to your show?
Okay. Now, repeat that a little louder on that question. I want to make sure I hear it right.
Why do you think many people are listening to your show?
Okay. Why do I think many people are listening to the show? I think, it's because of the content. We only been on for a few months, and we have over 400 shows already. Most podcast shows do maybe once a week maybe, and some do it maybe once a month, whereas we were cranking them out 2 and 3 a day. You know what I mean? And the thing is, it's the content. We have entertaining, we have true stuff, we have we talk about life on every level, but it's deep. It's not just normal conversation you would have. You know what I mean? It's on some deep levels, and it's because a lot of it's from my personal experiences. I've never had a normal life, and so my experiences have led me down a path of abnormalcy. So when I come at various topics, it's something like you probably never heard before. Matter of fact, I would venture to say that 65% of something you never heard before in your life, but it'll make you think, and it makes people say, oh man, okay, this is interesting, and I think that's what made the show take off the way it did. I was surprised. I'll be honest with you, I was. Did I believe in the show? Yeah, I did believe in the show, and I did believe it would do what it did, but I didn't, not to that level. I was stunned, to be honest with you. So yeah, so that's kind of answer to the question the best I can give.
What are your long-term goals?
Long-term goals is, I want to, I'll be honest with you, long-term, I want to be happy. I want to be happy, man. I want to achieve joy and happiness. I do want to have, a portal, just like it's no different than an athlete who retires. They still have those competitive juices. So I want to have something set up that I can always be able to quench that thirst forever, for the rest of my life. So I'm always going to have something going on. Is it going to command all my attention? No, I want my queen, you know, whomever she may be, I want her to be the one to be able to command my attention and just live in life. But I always am going to have that need to have that desire to create, and those competitive juices to be, that thirst to be quenched. So long term, I want joy, happiness, and I also want to be satisfied in my desires of ambition. So that's the best way I can kind of, answer that.
Do you have a significant other?
Do I have a significant other? Now keep in mind, these are questions that's been asked of me, in the last year. And I talk a lot about the queen thing, and I was talking about, the fact that I had been through my first being hurt experience. I've been through my first experience of learning about what real love is, and I learned about, let me clarify that now, because you got to understand, you being my grandson, I've had, obviously romantic thing when men very, very young. So that's two different worlds now. I've learned that love when you're young compared to love when you're, old school, the older level are two different things. Two different things. You have a lot. You tend to invest a lot more of yourself when you're older. You do. You invest a lot more yourself because it's for all the marbles. It's all the marbles, and so you can get hurt a lot deeper. You know what I mean? Whereas young, you got the whole world ahead. You don't think about all those things. But when you get older, and even as ambitious as I am, when you're talking about love, you're all in. You're all in, and so, do I have a significant other? No, I don't. But that's definitely something that's definitely on my radar. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. Man, you're doing a great job, man. You're doing a great job.
Okay, so where are you from?
Where am I from? Now, that question, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a good question. It's a fair question. But I'll be honest with you, I would never answer that question. Never. And it's because I don't get into where I'm from. I get into where I'm going and where I've been and where I'm heading to. That's the most important thing. We'll find ourselves in the middle of a convention out of the blue. So we're gonna keep going, and tell you what we'll do. Why don't we? You still got your questions, right? All right, we're gonna pick up, and we're gonna go and walk this way, and we're gonna talk on the way. And so, but I'm gonna keep answering that question though about where I'm from. It's more of a situation for me where here you go, and I'll make sure you're still in here. We'll just sit down right here, and I'll end up holding it. Let's sit right here, and I'll end up holding it. And so, yeah, to answer that, yeah. So I'm more into not necessarily where I'm from, but where I'm headed in life. So, what's your next question? Doing a great job. I'm gonna say that again.
Did you always believe in yourself?
Did you always believe you? You know why I'm glad you asked me that question? Because of our connection. I want you to know, I always have. I've always believed in myself, man. And I don't know what that is. It's just like my ambition thing. I didn't, create the ambition inside me, the drive, the hunger in me. But I've always believed in myself, man. And, I had maybe 1 year here in the last 5 years or so where I took a hit in that area. For about a year, I just wasn't believing in myself and strong, man. I wasn't me. I was not me. And it was a learning lesson. And those are the things that led me to reinvent myself over the last year. I never wanted to feel that way ever again. But I've always believed in me, man. Always. And I believe in you, too. I want you to know that, okay? I want you to hear me say that. I believe in you, okay? All right. So, yeah, what's your next question?
All right. What is success to you?
What is success to me? Success to me is achieving those goals, those 3 goals I mentioned, and that's joy, happiness, And you might think I'll put love in there, but I always put love as a given. You know, you can't have, if joy and happiness, I include love in there. And also my ability to quench the thirst of my ambition. So that's success to me. I don't rate it by what society considers success. I rate it by what I consider success for myself only. Only. I live in my own, and I believe you should always live in your own bubble of what works best for you. So that's what success is for me. So I know we're kind of running out of time, so I'm gonna try to answer your question a lot quicker. What's your next?
What was it like growing up?
What was it like growing up? Wow, man. You talking to somebody, man, had a business, open it up every week. Dude, I always had something going on. I always had, my name was on some window. You know, I'm interviewing a newspaper. It was crazy, man. I was hungry. Man. And you know, that's how I was, man, for many years, man. Just me being hungry. And you know, I remember I wrote this handbook, you know, for couples, and I was like 16 or something, and man, got a lot, about 1,000 of them printed, and just started, you know, selling them, man. And people still bring that up today. Wow, man, we got that handbook. We got couples that's, you know, been married for many years. Man, we still got that book. So, you know, growing up for me has always been an ambitious thing. Have I had rough times? Yeah. I came up in a different type of environment. I'm from the projects, not because I'm from the projects. It's just that I was just raised in a, you know, kind of a rough environment, man. And so I had to, you know, that's how I learned about living in your bubble. So what's your next question?
Why do you have trust issues?
Why do you have trust issues? Keep in mind, these are questions that's been asked of me in the last year. I'll be honest with you, go back to that year that I was not myself. And, you know, I took some big hits, you know, and I really did. I took some big hits from that, man. And I probably got hurt in that period the most. I probably top two of the worst hurtful time of my life ever. And so it's from that period of time that I did develop trust issues. And that was the first time I've ever experienced trust issues. I never had that in my life. So it's a lot of firsts went on in that period, but that's what it's about. But well, you know, it's something I'll fix while I've been doing this reinventing thing. So I'm taking care of it. I have. All right, what's your next question?
Are you religious?
Am I religious? I'm gonna make that real quick. No, not religious. I'm spiritual. I'm not religious. I ride with God all the way, man, but I'm not religious at all. I'm free to do whatever I want to do. You know what I mean? So that's the answer to that question. What's your other one there?
All right, this is the last question.
All right.
What is your message to the world?
What is your message to the world? Okay, that's a good one, man. That's a good one. Now we probably have a minute left. What do you think my message to the world should be? If you had a message to the world, what would your message be?
To never stop giving up.
To never give up. Never give up. Chase your dreams. And look at that. That's grandson. He done said all I would have said. That's exactly what I would have said. Because one thing I can say, I'll never, ever quit. So that's my message to the world. Say it again. What is that now? Never give up. And chase your dreams. There it is. You said it right there for me. That's exactly it right there, man. You know, live in your bubble, live your life, and make sure that you have a strong circle that believes in you. You know, someone not telling you, I believe in you, you can do it, then, you know, I'm just saying, that needs to be a requirement. You know what I mean? So that's it. Man, you did a great job. I hate we got ran away from our little spot over there. They gone now. I wish we can go back over there. But we're going to go on. We'll end it right here and everything. And, man, you did a great job. I want to shake your hand. I'm trying to, you know, we didn't have to hold the camera first. We're going to shake your hand on camera. You did a great job, man. This is Ty. He did his thing, man. And I'm very proud of him right now, man. This is the Imperfect Man. We're going to holler at you guys later on. I always wish you well, man. I always wish you well. Thank you, man. You did a great job. Okay, we'll holler at you guys later.